Hello, I'm Valen, and welcome back to Star Trek Armada 3. Today we'll be finishing off this game. It'll probably be a shorter episode than usual. We're just gonna clean off the rest of the planets that they've got sitting around, and finally push through what they've got sitting up and make sure that they have no more planets. And then we'll probably just take a look at the stats for a short while, see how it went. It'll be interesting to see the stats as it goes along. It'll probably be obvious where we start completely overpowering our opponents and everything. So this is basically their last stand of culture as well. They have tons of culture being produced here. 5 relay stations. All of their structures for some reason are at over 100% health. I don't understand why. Significantly over 100% health.
Resistance is futile.
Second fleet is just clearing everything out. This planet is now basically cleared. Culture is being pushed back and then we'll be fine. The exploration is being done here and we'll find out what our last artifact is and if it'll significantly affect the outcome of this game. Hint, it won't. So they're just sort of sitting around for now. We'll have the trapezoid sit nearby so that it can colonize right now. They've got a few ships sitting around, but not many. The outpost is dying without me even ordering it to be attacked. It just can't hold up to this. How long until that's done? It's almost done. And we got Cytherian Data Archive. I'm not gonna say it's useless, but it is useless at this point. It would have been great if we had it earlier, because we would have had such cheap research. Because we already get, what? Yeah, we already get 45% off on our research, and having this, we'd get 60% off of the original cost, which is incredible. Over here, second fleet is clearing out what's left and already sieging, and that's gonna be done quickly. Now, I think it'd be fun to try and culture flip them just because we can, and it'd be, hilarious. But I think it'd probably be more sensible to just sort of rush in, and attack. But we're gonna at least push back all their culture. Show them that we're better than them. And make sure they know it. 5 culture nodes with a full social spec.
By your command.
This is the new second fleet, fully upgraded.
Proceed
Or updated, I suppose would be the better word.
by your command.
And this is the third fleet. The third fleet is just sitting there for now, so we'll pull them in here. And we'll actually combine them all into the first fleet when they get together. And that way we can completely kill everything that's here. They do have a Unity starbase.
Proceed to sector.
So this is the last challenge of this game. The Unity starbase is the ultimate starbase. It's probably just as good as one of our unicomplexes. I've seen it take down an entire Cardassian fleet alone, including their dreadnought.
Proceed to sector.
So, and it's probably fully upgraded, so we're gonna have to push through it and kill it before we can bombard the planet. Our last goal is to assimilate the planet. I'm actually gonna grab another unicomplex constructor and send it over here. If we get a transwarp node, that'll speed things up. And that way we can just sort of, it'll probably be there before the transwarp node is done. And that way we'll have a nice extra culture here. So we can really rub it in their face that we have all the culture in the universe. Now, I don't like having so many envoys sitting around my lands, but it's not worth the time to go around and kill them all. They're not causing any harm, I might as well just leave them. Alright, so this is the first fleet.
Alert the crew.
We're gonna send this Defiant this way, but we probably don't need it. Are there any other ships we have sitting around without a use? Probably, we'll have to look. Over here, we have a few White Winds, but we don't need them. They're just siege ships, I believe. I don't know. Haven't played Romulans in a while. We've got a scout cube here, it's just scouting.
We serve the collective.
Yeah, we've got everything, except for this Nausicaan Light Raider, but we'll scuttle it.
By your command.
So that first fleet is there. Our Unicomplex Constructor has now arrived. And, just for the fun of it,
Objective.
we'll set up a starbase here. And then watch as all of this collapses in. And the universe becomes ours. First fleet I would like to mobilize to there. And actually, let's get a nice good look at our fleet before we send it in for its last battle. Honestly, haven't used a fleet this large before.
Station construction complete.
I never got the hang of using so many capital ships, it felt weird. But now that I've actually seen what you can do by transferring to cruisers and capital ships mainly, it's very impressive. I almost have 1,000,000 credits, so that'll be a nice end goal to work for. But yes, our end goal for this series, get 1,000,000 credits.
Station construction complete.
Definitely not assimilate everyone. Alright, this unit complex is being built. We'll give it some upgrades ordered up. And we'll actually add to the fleet this Defiant class. And
Proceed to sector.
mobilize the ships to there, yeah. We don't actually want this Nova, so we'll scuttle it. We don't want it in the fleet, although I'd like to see what it looks like assimilated. It's boring when they don't do anything to the assimilated versions.
Station construction complete.
I like how the nacelles become green and they get all these little things on them. That's awesome. I don't like it when there's nothing that happens. And this, of course, is what Voyager would look like if it were assimilated. Marvelous. Few stuff down here. Those are New Orleans classes. Challengers, of course, have nothing. The Excelsiors have some stuff, and the Curries do have things. At least the Curries actually become useful, despite the fact that they have no, capital or no ability to launch strike craft. Over here, I'm gonna actually take a look at those White Winds, see what the Romulan ships look like when they're upgraded. Or, upgraded. I suppose it is an upgrade. Apparently they look like regular old Romulan ships, because their nacelles are already green. That energy allocator's in a hurry. Alright, let's see. This is our fleet. We'll go with what just happened. I'll go ahead and zoom in on this tactical cube. And we'll switch to the cinematic mode. Look at that fleet. All these little green dots from getting the collective.
Station construction.
There's just a ton of ships everywhere and the cubes are just massive. Honestly, we could probably get enough cubes to form an actual wall with them and prevent enemy ships from getting through by having a bunch of cubes. Alright, so we'll turn cinematic mode off now. Take the first fleet in its new upgraded form. And I think it is time to finish this. The first fleet is now jumping in. There are some ships that are still scrambling to actually figure out what they're doing. Our goal is to kill the Unity class starbase. So we'll just push in, and it should be attacking relatively normally. We'll focus here first and kill these ones. And then we focus on this starbase. Their little fighters should just be melted, but I don't know. We may not have the firepower to kill those because we don't have dodecahedrons anymore. Or do we? Do we have any dodecahedrons here? We have one dodecahedron. Let's see how it does with all of these fighters. Alright. That's what I thought. Over 100,000 armor and hull and shields.
Begin assimilation.
And all of the abilities that come with a Unity class starbase. So it's time for our final battle. And we're actually going to open up with a Reaper Beam.
Begin
And there it is. And that's most of their shields down, so that's weakening them significantly. And here we go, our culture's already spreading out and probably gonna hit this location. Do we have social spec here? Yep, we have that, and we have a bunch of those. And that's just pushing out. Good. Good. Oh look, more dodecahedrons? No, nanite probes. Not as good. So they're using an area of effect attack, and we've already gotten through their shields. So I think we're gonna win this easily. Although we may take some losses, which is interesting. Just some minor damage being done, culture's pushing out. It's a race between whether we can destroy this planet first or get 100% culture first. And just keep firing, and the starbase is going to go down at the next tick. No, it got some repairs. Now it's gonna die. There we go. Unity-class starbase defeated. Under ordinary circumstances, that would be one of the most difficult battles ever. But we are the Borg, and resistance is futile. And there we go, our culture's spreading back here. I think culture is gonna hit 100% before we get the entire, before we conquer every planet. And over here, yep, culture's all clear. Yeah, we've got this. Killing off their defenses now, even though there's really very little to defend.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
Here's a starbase, there's a defense station here, it's about to die. All of these Valkyries may actually be attacked by our one dodecahedron. And there we go, we've begun sieging the planet, which means that the entire Federation is about to die. We abandoned Ferengi scavengers.
By your command.
Where? Can they siege? I don't think they can siege, but if they can, well, that should keep them away once I actually get it set up.
Invalid objective.
This is probably the first time we've gotten a random event in this game. That's unusual.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
We'll fill out the rest of the simulation nodes. Yeah, it looks like they're just sort of being annoying. Makes sense.
By your command.
And there we go. We have every planet. We have 100% culture. We're getting way more resources than anyone else because no one else is alive. There are just a few envoys sitting around, so the humans could theoretically make a comeback in some alternate dimension. They could run off to another star and establish new homes with all of their people they've stored on these diplomatic vessels. That'd be an awfully strange culture to see. But yes, there we go, we've completely wiped out the Federation. Hurrah.
Station construction complete.
And 100% culture and everything. Alright then. So that'll be all. We'll go ahead and look at the stats. So, credit income. This is very much where it started to, I believe it was right around here that I don't remember where I actually, let's see. We'll find out. Planets owned. We started hitting the other star right around here, I believe. Maybe right around there. I don't know exactly. I believe it was when we were even. Yeah, and then we started attacking them. They lost planets, we gained some. This is where we wiped out the Romulans. Huge jump up in our planet count there. And this is probably where we entered their system. So if we look at credit income, see right there where we entered their system, they started losing a lot, but they lost a bit when we attacked their other, the other star. And we see a similar pattern with everything else, but we've been ahead for most of that stuff. Frigates. I believe this is where we started having pirate raids on them, or they attacked us. It might have been an attack on us, and we turned back and attacked them. And killed all of their ships. Capital ships. They were ahead for a while, and then we managed to get up to a full count of capital ships, and we were at the top for quite a while. Dreadnoughts. we were level 10 Dreadnought most of the time. They actually made 5 Dreadnoughts. Quite a few. And structures, again, this is where we just started pushing and killed off everything they had. In terms of Empire, see, here we have 97% Galaxy Culture. That's unacceptable. But yeah, everyone else has 0%. We've completely overrun them. Combat Research. They actually had more Defense Research, so we could never beat them at that, but we had our max stuff later than them. But they focused a bit too much on the research at times. We had more non-combat to get. Fleet research, everyone was done with their fleet research before I was, but I waited a while for most of that. Starbase upgrades, they had less starbases, I think, actually. Yeah, they had less starbases, but their starbases have like 18 upgrades each. Gonna be higher. So yeah. I think this was very much the turning point where we started to get ahead, and that was right after we wiped out the Cardassians. Killing the Klingons was not a turning point. Killing the Cardassians gave us a sort of power, and then when they made the mistake of attacking us wrong and we moved in on their second star system, we just shot ahead. There was no way they could stop us then. So there we go. That'll be all for this series. We might do another one. Federation, perhaps. We might do Cardassians or Klingons. Maybe Romulans. I haven't done much with Romulans. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. And I might be starting other series. I have to get some mods figured out for other things. So yes, until next time, goodbye.